Living in a post-Christian world. I'm Derek Gilbert with a brief update from Skywatch TV. As I mentioned yesterday, this week very busy for a number of reasons. So just a quick report today, brought on by a very disturbing story out of Wisconsin. We are living in a post-Christian world. Here in the United States, we're not quite as far along the track as they are in the United Kingdom or in the European Union. In England, for example, the King of England, King Charles, who I remind you is the official head of the Church of England, which is ostensibly a Christian church. He has been pandering to Muslims there for quite some time. His prime minister now, Sir Keir Starmer, over the weekend sent out holiday greetings to the Sikh community in the United Kingdom. Nothing wrong with that in and of itself, except that he didn't mention anything about Palm Sunday to the predominantly, at least nominally, Christian population of the UK. I told you last week about the German soccer club, FC Kaiserslautern, whose fans staged what looks to all the world like a satanic summoning ritual in one end of the stadium during a recent match. And the coach of the club saying, "Boy, it was a great day to be at the stadium here today, really raised goosebumps." Well, yeah, and maybe something else. Lady Gaga's performance over the weekend at the Coachella Music Festival. This is a festival that's become an annual cultural thing held in Southern California every year. Lady Gaga gave a 2-hour performance that looked for all the world like another ritual. She created what she described as a demonic opera house there in the desert, playing on a keyboard that is bedecked by skulls for some reason, which, you know, if you're going to be playing a musical instrument that features human skulls, you might just ask yourself, hey, wait, am I on the wrong team here? But that's the brand that Lady Gaga has created for herself over the course of her career. And of course, her guest appearance on Saturday Night Live back in March. I haven't watched SNL since it was funny, which has been a very long time. But she was part of a sketch in which somebody at a restaurant lied about their birthday to try to get a free sundae, and so was forced to drink a cup of human blood and then had her heart ripped out. It was really gruesome. I guess they thought it was funny, but it's only funny if you're looking at this from a non-Christian perspective, or if you just believe that the spirit realm is not real. To paraphrase the French author Baudelaire, the greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he doesn't exist. Well, the story from Wisconsin that triggered this line of thinking and this chain of stories. 17-year-old boy from Waukesha, Wisconsin, has been accused of killing his mother and stepfather and using their murder to obtain the freedom and the funds needed to assassinate the president and start a revolution. I mean, you could argue this child was not in his right mind, which is, and I misspeak by calling him a child. At the age of 17, you are no longer a child, and I hope he will be tried as an adult. But according to court documents, he planned to start a political revolution. Now, disordered thinking to say the least, but from a Christian perspective, recognizing we wrestle not against flesh and blood, he was subject to outside influences. 17-year-old Nikita Kasap had images and messages on his phone that referenced a self-described manifesto regarding assassinating the president, making bombs, terrorist attacks, and so forth. He also described wanting to create a political revolution in the United States to save the white race from Jewish-controlled lawmakers. Again, this is a dark story. You can find this on the web if you want to. I won't go into more detail here because it is very disturbing. The bottom line is that he was connected to a group, according to evidence on his phone, this per the Waukesha County District Attorney, to a group called the Order of Nine Angles. Now, the Order of Nine Angles isn't as well known as, they say, the Satanic Temple, which stages events like putting a statue of Baphomet in state capitals or suing the states, various states. He sued the state of Missouri after the abortion ban went into effect following the Supreme Court's overturning of Roe v. Wade, claiming that it was a sacrament in their religion and therefore protected under the First Amendment. Of course, that was thrown out. But the Order of Nine Angles doesn't go in for stunts like that. They consider groups like the Satanic Temple to be cosplayers, people who dress up in costume and pretend to worship dark forces, or LARPers, live action role players. They pretend to do it because they get a thrill. The Order of Nine Angles is serious about this. I cited the work of author and researcher William Ramsey, who's written a book about the Order of Nine Angles, in my last book, The Second Coming of Saturn, because they are Odin worshipers, and they take their worship of the dark forces seriously to the point of human sacrifice. And that may be connected to what young Nikita Kasep is accused of doing with his mother and stepfather. Again, we're living in a post-Christian world, and things like this are coming into the open more and more frequently. And it is only because the media still refuses to treat these as spiritually influenced events that the majority of people out there, even inside the Christian churches here in the United States, don't take things like this as seriously as we should. We are living toward the end of the age. And this is just one more bit of evidence that that's where we are. Coming up, speaking of the Coachella Music Festival, tell you a little bit about Bernie Sanders and how he's fighting the oligarchy. You only have to pay a few $100 to get in to see him do it. That's next on 5 and 10.
You can support the ministry of Skywatch TV and our continued efforts to share the gospel of Jesus Christ throughout the four corners of the world and receive your very own copy of this urgent new work when you order They Lied to You About the Rapture special offer. Not only does this incredible opportunity include Bishop Alan DiDio's new book, They Lied to You About the Rapture, How to Prepare for What's Coming, but it also includes the best-selling book, Antichrist and the Final Solution, the chronology of the future finally unveiled by the late Dr. Thomas Horn and Terry James. This incredible book details the rise of the Antichrist along with key biblical events, including the signing of a peace treaty with Israel, the construction of a third temple, and the unfolding of the seals, trumpets, and bowls from Revelation. This masterpiece also unveils the final solution, involving the return of the Nephilim giants, the battle of Armageddon, the truth about heaven, hell, and your destiny in the coming days. But that's not all. You'll also receive Terry James' best-selling book, Nearing Midnight, as it was in the days of Lot, that pinpoints all the biblical signs leading to the true countdown to humanity's end and the blessed hope of Christ's imminent return. Sold separately, these items hold a retail value of $60. Yours now for your donation of only $45, which includes free shipping to all U.S. orders. You can scan the QR code on your screen using the camera app on your phone for instant access to this special opportunity. You can also visit us at skywatchtvstore.com or call 1-844-750-4985 and ask for They Lied to You About the Rapture special offer now.
Bernie Sanders fights the oligarchy while becoming a multimillionaire. 83-year-old Bernie Sanders was at the Coachella Music Festival where Lady Gaga performed, dressed in devil horns, playing on her skull keyboard. Speaking of cosplayers, that's essentially what Bernie Sanders is. Senator Sanders is a cosplay socialist. He's not really a socialist, believing that we should all share the wealth equally, because he's worth about $3 million, according to most recent information on his net worth. He took his Fight Oligarchy tour to Coachella, where to get in, you'd have to pay several hundreds of dollars for the privilege. This festival is a trendy weekend for would-be influencers who have no idea what real people have to go through to get by in life. Again, nothing says tough times like spending a few $100 to watch a pretend socialist introduce a pretend Satanist. It boggles the mind. Perfect venue for a Democrat like Bernie Sanders, who's become a millionaire by selling socialism to gullible teens and 20-somethings. Well, this week on Skywatch TV, we discuss a fascinating new book by Alan DiDio. It is They Lied to You About the Rapture, but believe it or not, we actually discussed the Philadelphia experiment, which was the alleged disappearance and then reappearance of a U.S. warship, the USS Eldridge, from Philadelphia back in 1943. It allegedly teleported and time traveled and then returned, with some serious consequences for the sailors on board. Watch the program right now. You can, watch it on the broadcast. The broadcast schedule is posted at skywatchtv.com/channels, but you can watch it right now if you've got Skywatch TV added to your Roku device, Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV. If you've got a smart TV preloaded with one of those systems, make sure the Skywatch TV channel is right there. Brings all of our video content, including Donna Howell, the Donna Howell Show, Return to Eden, and of course these daily news updates. All of that right on your big screen whenever you click the remote. You can also watch us on YouTube at Skywatch Television. Please subscribe, share, click the bell for notifications, hit the like button, and rumble.com/Skywatch TV. Or you can bring us right into your smartphone or tablet. We've got an app for that: iOS, Android, Amazon, Kindle Fire, phone or tablet. We have links to their app stores at skywatchtv.com/app. And follow 5 in 10 online. We're on YouTube. Subscribe at 5 in 10. Subscribe, share, click the bell for notifications, hit the like button. And please follow us on X as well at 5_in_10. And thank you for watching as we keep watch. I'm Derek Gilbert. It's 5 in 10 from Skywatch TV.